Taylor and Joseph, two of my employees.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And like Taylor likes to say when you get too hyper, swassom.
That's awesome.
So they're going to talk to you a little bit today about
Job interview. Yeah.
And then you have a few minute break, and then we'll go and do dress for success, and then we're done. If you haven't taken your picture, we want you still to do that, okay? And I'm going to give it to Mr. Rich, because we're going to be sending y'all a cool picture in the very near future, okay? Anybody got any questions for me? All right, y'all got to help me. We want to welcome two average guys that are
I'm not.
Keep them out.
Awesome.
Where's the cane?
y'all help me welcome the awesome Taylor and the awesome Joseph.
Yes.
Good job. All right, thank you, Jerry. So y'all went and looked at all the businesses, right? Just like you would if you're looking for a real job, except this is kind of a real life you got to walk and see and touch and interact with. And then what comes after you look at research a job? You fill out a job application, right? And some of you probably got to do that. And what comes after a job application?
Interview.
An interview, that's right. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So it's going to be a fun, interactive way for y'all just to see a job interview, the things you should do and the things maybe you shouldn't do. So y'all are actually going to be teaching us. So Jerry meant what he said when he said average guys. You exceptional students are going to teach us. Mm-hmm. Could someone give me an example of something you shouldn't do at a job interview?
Dressing casual clothes.
Dressing casual clothes. That's a very good one. Mm-hmm. You should dress casual. Presentable. Now let's take that and run with it. Should you show up in a tuxedo or prom dress to a job interview?
That's kind of
overdoing it. So you got to dress for the job. If you're dressing for a casual job, you should dress for a casual job.
Casual, nice. Like
Yeah. And so today, Taylor will be interviewing for Walmart. I'll be a manager at Walmart interviewing Taylor as a prospective employee. What's something else you should never do at a job interview?
like being rude and
Be on your phone.
being rude.
Being rude. Okay. What's some other ones this side of the bleachers? What's something you should never? You go ahead, blurt it out. Eye contact. That's right. That's a very good one. Okay.
But coming like munching on food.
Munching on food. Okay. I think, Taylor, is that enough for you to work with?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we're going to just act it out, do a little mock interview, because if you learn one thing from this, the most important thing you can do for a job interview is to practice, practice, practice. Even if it's for a job you don't really like. Does anybody want to work? Or who doesn't want to work at Walmart? Anybody? Nobody? If you ever got a job interview anywhere, you should always go on it, because that's free practice. And so practice, practice, practice. And that's what Taylor and I are going to do. All right.
You ready to do this?
Ready. Hey, how are you?
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm doing okay, I guess. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my name is Robert Carley, and I want to work at Walmart.
You want to work at Walmart?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Could you maybe tell me what some of your strengths are?
I like to get things done, but also I don't work well with others at all, period.
You don't work well with others?
No.
Okay. What do you mean by that when you say you don't work well with
I usually like to work alone.
You like to work alone?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have is that your resume?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sorry, it's blank.
Oh, okay, a blank resume. Okay, well that is very interesting, Mr. Carley. Could you maybe tell me what are some of your weaknesses?
My weaknesses, well, I like to be a loner. By the way, I won't come on time because I like to sleep in.
Oh well.
Okay, well, Mr. Carley,
I think those are my weaknesses.
do you have any previous work experience?
Not at all. This is my first job, actually.
This is your first job. Okay. Is there anything? I think we're almost done with this interview. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
How much do I get paid?
Oh, well, we typically don't talk about that this first time around, but I'll tell you what, we'll give you a call later.
Okay.
Yeah, you checking the weather? Oh,
No, I'm
nope,
taking a picture.
Nope. Okay.
Got my job.
Let's give Mr. Carley a round of applause.
Wow. Woo.
What are some things Taylor didn't do correctly? He didn't shake my hand.
He make eye contact.
He made eye contact.
He is off and on eye contact.
A little too quiet.
He talked a little too quiet at
He
times.
said he don't come in early, he sleep a lot.
Yeah, he basically said, you can't rely on me. That's what he told me, right? He didn't say that, but that's what I got from it.
It was like, I call you later.
On his phone.
He's on his phone. Should you ever be on your phone in an interview? Nope. There's actually 100%, there's no reason you should ever be on your phone in an interview. What's a really good idea to do with your phone before the interview? Silence it, turn it off.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb. Those are all wonderful ideas. What are some other things that he didn't? Ruin his reputation. Okay, what are some other things did Taylor not do quite so well?
He was real smart with his questions, like with his answers and responses. He was real smart with
Yeah, he kept cutting me off. That was very rude. He didn't let me finish my questions and kept interrupting me. So what are some things he can do to improve? Because we're going to redo the interview. What are some things he can improve?
he could like sit up straight, don't feel, stay off his phone, make eye contact, and just look straight forward without like hesitating with his answer, just keep him short.
Okay. Those are all really good.
That way you shake the hand when you first come in.
Shake the hand. Okay. Should it be a firm handshake? Should it be kind of a, or a limp, kind of passive handshake? Firm, that's right. You want to connect. Okay. Well, Taylor, I think you got some good tips.
I think I
So
did.
let's try this again, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Taylor.
Hello, my name is Taylor. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Joseph with Walmart. So let's start off. Just tell me a little bit about yourself, Taylor.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity, by the way, and let me elaborate who I am. My name is Taylor Carley. I am outgoing. I like to get things done. And also, I brought my resume and also some stuff that you can also look at of my past experiences.
Oh my, you even put some references down?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that. And it looks like you used to work at Target.
Yes, I have experience in retail.
Okay, that is awesome. What is your what are you expecting as far as work schedule?
Honestly, I'm trying to look for full-time. I know it's been kind of tough finding, but I'll do anything and just work my way up. And
What are some of your strengths and weaknesses?
I don't like the word weakness, improvements, as I say.
Okay.
Improvements. Well, improvement as in like I want to further better my organization skills. I want to be able to listen and communicate with others effectively.
Okay.
And also, timeliness is one of my strengths. That is important to me, to be on time, working together, and solving the issues and finding a solution.
Okay. Well, Mr. Carley, I think those are all the questions. Was there anything you'd like to add?
Is there a way I can learn more information about what I am doing or anything that you can provide?
You'd be working anywhere from the back. You kind of just float around, working into the back, stocking the shelves, taking inventory, working the cashier, helping customers find products and things that they might need. So you definitely have to be very polite and take care of yourself, come in presentable, all things that we would be expecting out of you.
Customer service is number one, of course, in retail. I've been doing it for several years now.
Yeah.
So also, what would be like the work schedule? Would it be mainly a weekend?
We're open 24/7, so we're very flexible work schedule. That's actually one of the things we can accommodate. That pretty much any schedule you come up
actually,
with.
I'm going to school, by the way.
Okay, that
Just
is
wanted
awesome.
to make sure.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. I think I have enough information to make a decision. We'll be in touch, okay?
Thank you again for this wonderful opportunity, Joseph.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's give a round of applause for Taylor. So, what are some things that he improved upon? What are some of the things he tweaked and made better?
Talk a little louder.
He talked a little louder, yeah.
He was listening.
Listening, eye contact, heard that. What did he not do?
Get on his phone.
He did not get on his phone.
He didn't get on his phone. He didn't cut you off.
He didn't cut me off.
He was listening.
He didn't ask about pay.
He was respectful.
When he answered my questions, did any of it sound rehearsed or robotic? He's kind of telling a story, right? He's being authentic. He's being himself.
Yeah.
And that's also very important in an interview. You should always be yourself because people can kind of pick up on when you're trying to be something that you're not. And that's something that's really tempting when you go into a job interview, to embellish or oversell yourself. It's kind of a very tight rope you want to walk in the middle, and you want to sell yourself just right.
Exactly. You don't want to think you're too good for it.
Right, you don't want to come off as arrogant or lie. What'd you say? Bougie? Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to steal that for the next group. Thank you. You want to come off on something that you can deliver on. You don't want to advertise on something that you can't.
Just like me, I'm myself.
Yes, but professional. So Taylor's authentic but professional. Yeah. What are some other things we might not have covered? One thing we can't really demonstrate right now, someone mentioned it earlier, arriving on time. Can you get to an interview too early? Yeah. What's number would be too early? Like how many minutes?
8:30.
30 minutes, that'd be too, that's exactly.
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Yeah. So I'm the type of person, I like to get places early. When I have a job interview, I used to get to places 30 minutes early. But that's not always the best because businesses don't want you waiting in their lobby for 30 minutes and having to kind of entertain you. So if you're like me and like to get to places early, it's okay just to sit in the parking lot and then walk in maybe 5 minutes before your interview. Okay.
Some of the people that want to interview, like they're not gonna be there like most of the time.
Right. They're busy.
It's either the next day or the same day.
Now, something else you should do whenever you have an interview, whether you want that job or you're using that interview as practice, you should always send a thank you email. So anybody want to guess how long should you wait before you send a follow-up email?
When you get the job,
We'll say you don't hear back from them. When should you send an email?
when you don't hear back from them.
Couple days? 5 days? I would recommend 5 to 7 days. If you hadn't heard from them in a business week or an actual week, you should send an email, something along the lines of,
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to talk to you and hope that we could collaborate and see where this opportunity can go.
yeah, you don't want to be pushy. You don't want to be, did I get the job? How much is it going to be? Because that's kind of coming off as rude, right? You don't want to be too pushy, but you want to advocate for yourself. So it's finding that fine line of when and where to say, which is what Taylor did at the end of the second interview. He thanked the opportunity, because that's what it is. It's an opportunity to sell yourself. And no matter what your skill set are or what kind of opportunities you want to look for, you should always practice selling yourself, because nobody's going to sell yourself like yourself. Are any questions or things I might have missed on things you should do or don't do for an interview?
There's one thing I could address.
Go for it.
I think it's important for me. I struggle with finding the right words to say, and then when they ask you a tricky question, it's okay to ask politely, can I have a moment to think about that question? That's a really good question. And to me, that's not being rude. It's a good question. You have to really think about these questions, so it's okay to ask.
And that advocates for yourself,
Yeah.
right? That says like, hey, I need a minute, and that's okay. You go ahead. This is a free-flowing, yeah, you go ahead.
And like in an interview, you can't come in like with your AirPod or anything in your ear
Right.
because it's kind of rude.
Yeah, that communicates, I don't really care about this.
Right.
I'm not listening to you.
And they gotta be like a certain kind of outfit, like casual.
So something I used to be really bad at doing, I tried to use words that were really big and long to make myself sound smart. And what happened was I ended up using words that didn't really fit. And was that
It made no sense.
It didn't make sense. So I tried to look smart, and then what did I end up looking like? I looked kind of dumb.
Embarrassing.
And so again, don't embellish or try to make yourself seem something that you're not.
Exactly.
Even though it may pay to seem like you're smarter, an employer is always going to value being authentic more than someone being smarter.
Exactly.
Okay.
Suggest asking for feedback. Let's say you don't get the job and you had a great interview. Do you suggest asking about feedback of how you could come better?
That's a great prompt, because I've interviewed for lots of jobs and I didn't hear back, and it was a job I really wanted to get. And so I've emailed them in my follow-up email a week later and said, hey, I did my thing, thank you for the opportunity. And then they responded like, oh, you didn't get the job. And so I responded back, is there anything I can do to improve myself? Any skill sets I need to work on, or certifications, or anything I can do better? Some businesses will, they'll tell you, and some won't, because they're a business and they're going to invest their time when they're going to make money. But some people care, and they'll value that, hey, this person's really trying to better themselves, and they'll say, yeah, work on this and apply again in 2 years.
Right.
That's a really good point.
Right. And then some people like that, I think they kind of
Yeah, probably someone you didn't want to work with to begin with. It's good to know that. Good posture. That is very important, Gunnar. Thank you.
It's like favoritism, really.
Because a lot of what you say is what you do with your body. This isn't so much what the words you actually say. And so Taylor did a very good job sitting up straight, maintaining eye contact, not being too loud. Yeah. Those are all really good points. What's something you should do the day before the interview?
Get ready.
Get ready. Make sure you have what? Have your outfit picked out. That's a good one.
And also you can research what kind of uniform they wear. Let's say you want to work at Walmart, you can tell what they're wearing and get an idea of the uniform and just wear that to the interview. But if you're unsure, it's always good to ask. Or
That's just like, right. That's just like, you gotta, Walmart wear blue and khaki.
And sometimes the question, 9 out of 10, they're going to ask, how do you know about us and what do you know? And it's always good to research the business. And
you read my mind, Taylor. You should research the business. How many locations do they have? I've been in an interview once where they had multiple sites, and I didn't know that. And they asked, would you want to work in Ocean Springs, or would you rather work in Mobile? And I was like, I didn't realize there was a possibility to work in Mobile. And so even though I was honest, that didn't put me in the best light, because it showed I didn't do my research beforehand.
And I would have said Springs.
Okay.
And also, when you're before you go to the building, and so you know where it's at, like locate the building, and then get the understanding of the area.
Yeah, I have a family member that's terrible with directions. She has to go to places beforehand to know where they are, to make sure she can get there on time. And so that's a great thing to do the day before, is drive to where you'll be interviewing and make sure, this is how long it's going to take. This is what I can expect from traffic. This is what it looks like. Something else you should do the day before your job interview is practice in a mirror. Hopefully you have a friend or family member that can kind of do what me and Taylor just did, and you just practice answering the questions, because they're going to ask you, please tell me a little bit about yourself and what are your weaknesses and strengths. They will for sure ask you that, and you want to have an answer that's authentic and prepared.
And do not cut them off.
Yeah, let them finish.
Do not cut them off, and do not have music or anything in. And open your ears. Like my mom tells me, if your mouth's open, your ears are shut. If your ears are open, your mouth's shut.
Right, you have to, it's an eb and flow.
Exactly.
You
can even ask them, like, if they could give you an example of what we might have messed up on, what made me not get the job. You can always ask them what made you decide not to choose me.
Yeah.
And then ask if you get the job, what your hours would be like.
All right. Well, thank y'all for your attention. Thank you for the applause. Well, before we close, was there any questions or comments before we close?
Got one other thing you could do before an interview.
Yeah.
And this doesn't pertain to just the interview, but for the job in general. Maybe several days, several weeks before, start practicing taking initiative on certain things. Like, for example, when you brought out the resume before you mentioned that was taking initiative, and you could demonstrate that with other parts of the job too, to show
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing here, and I can.
Practice, practice, practice. You can't practice too much for job interviews, because this isn't you should do this, shouldn't do this. There's a lot of gray area, and there's a lot of not easy answers. So we have a handout on y'all's way out. If you want to take it, you can. It's just a little cheat sheet on things you should do before, during, and after an interview, okay? And then y'all are gonna switch places with the other class.
And also, when you say you get a job, never